Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Jeff Ed with us. Hello, how are we doing, team? Check in, say hi, come on live. I am checking in this afternoon and super excited about this Jeff Ed, actually. Coming from a professional athlete's background and how important breathing is, it's going to be so informative for a lot of you. A lot of you have been asking us how and why is breathing super important in exercise. You're always hearing us say breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and exhale when you're going down, or all the different types of breathing. And people are asking us, but why? Like, why is it important to breathe during exercise? When is the right time to be breathing and exhaling? And how does it help with performance? And so we thought that there was no better person to speak about this than the amazing Coach Bridgitte. Coach Bridgitte is just the most insane boss of a woman. She is a 3-time Olympian. She won a bronze medal at the London Olympics. She is my hero when it comes to our Jeff team. I'm telling you, there is no stronger woman like her. She is part of our coaching team as well, and she's just absolutely killing it. And she's going to be speaking a little bit about her story as well as her experiences, and then speaking through why it's super important to breathe, when's the right time to breathe. And then you can all ask her questions at the end, and she'll do a little question and answer. So we're actually going to bring Bridgie in now so that her and I can have a little bit of a chat. Let's bring her in.
Hello, Siri. Thank you so much for a lovely introduction.
Hello, Bridgie. How are you? The last time that we were together, you were working out here behind me.
Yeah, you're making me work hard so I could show everyone how it's done.
Oh, Bridgie, I'm so excited that everyone's going to get the chance to have a chat with you and speak about this. I mean, I just said now that you've been such a high level athlete. You're not just a canoeist or a rower or whatever it is that you're doing in your paddling world, but you cycle a lot. You do so much other exercise that I know that you're going to be providing people with such helpful insights into why breathing is so important. And I know that I'm going to hand you over to story time with Bridgitte. I love it. Love it. But I am so grateful that you're with us and that you're able to speak this through. I know it's something that all of our members have been asking so much. And so I'm going to actually just hand it straight over to you, the pro.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Siri. It's great
See
to
you
have
just
you.
Now, Bridgie.
Bye. Thanks, Siri. Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're going to enjoy this little Jeff Ed with me when I talk about breathing. So I'm going to start with a bit of story time, which Siri loves. And that is that when I was born, I was actually born 2 weeks too early. So I was a premature baby, and I spent the first 2 weeks of my life in an incubator, and I also had a broken leg. So that was the beginning of my life, spending 2 weeks in an incubator. My poor mom had this small little child and had to look at me, but not able to really spend too much time with me. And I was only allowed out properly after 2 weeks. So there's a picture of me. I don't have a picture with my broken leg, but there's a picture of me as a very small person when I was born. And I became quite sporty at a young age. And obviously the effects of having premature lungs didn't really have too much of an effect on my later life, as I then proceeded to get many medals for South Africa. And my biggest achievement is then my bronze medal at the London Olympics. So that's, in a summary, my little story. But today we are here to talk about why the way you breathe during a workout is important, what matters the most. So there's a few points that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to end off with 10 different breathing techniques for everyone to take home and try for themselves. Obviously not all of them at the same time, but they are lovely to practice, and those are sometimes outside of training. So just a little bit of background. So each time you inhale, you take in oxygen, and your body needs oxygen to function. And so the more you move, then the more oxygen you need. So you must think of oxygen as the fuel for your body, like a car needs fuel. So once the air enters your mouth, it passes through your larynx. The larynx is commonly known as your voice box, then into your vocal cords, then your trachea, which is the windpipe, and then to the left and right bronchus. which are the main passageways that bring air into your lungs, and then into the bronchioles, which are the smaller branches, and then into the alveoli, which are the tiny sacs that you can find inside your lungs. And those tiny sacs are what separate the air into oxygen and carbon dioxide. Then the oxygen is pumped into your heart, brain, and other muscles through your body, and then we expel the carbon dioxide. So that's the history, or the theory behind it. So, and then the more activity we do, obviously, the more oxygen you need to sustain these activities. Then what does the proper breathing even mean, whether you're exercising or at rest? It's then best for you to use what is called diaphragmatic breathing. So yes, I don't think any of you know what I'm talking about, but let me explain. So diaphragmatic breathing is a specific breathing that engages your diaphragm muscle with every breath. So you slowly breathe in through your nose or your mouth, preferably through your nose. You fill up your abdominal area, and once you've filled up your abdomen, then you breathe out. So it's almost like if you put your hand on your tummy and you breathe in through your nose or your mouth, you feel that your tummy fills up, and that's the workhorse of your body, your diaphragm. So most of us, we don't really fully engage the muscle when you breathe. So instead, what you do is you take a shorter breath and a more shallow breath, and that begins and ends in your chest, which is the top area, and then your breathing is very shallow. So this increases your heart rate and your blood pressure, and then ultimately increases your anxiety levels and stress. And then sometimes you get a shortness of breath. So when you drive your breath through your diaphragm, you can actually avoid these mid-workout stitches, which some of us talk about, or you get, but you're actually unsure of how it comes about. So then we'll think about controlling your breathing during strength training. For example, if you want to lift more weights or exert more power with less effort. This will sometimes be an example in your home workouts when you're doing your burpees or your push-ups. You must breathe out in the concentric phase of the lift. So this is when if you're doing weights, and you'll be doing a bicep curl or bench press, or the push-up, you're going to breathe out in the push phase. And then in the eccentric portion, that's when you're going to lower back down to the ground. So in your push-up, then you'll lower back down, and that's when you'll exhale, but then you'll squeeze out and increase your core engagement. So that's why it's so important to breathe in and then breathe out, so that you actually can squeeze your core, and then the engagement of your core is so much better. Then when we come to aerobic exercise, like running, biking, or canoeing for me, then the main priority should be consistent breath. So it's more measurable, the breath versus short, shallow breaths, because that's when more nitric oxide comes into your body, which helps dilate your blood vessels and then increases the oxygenated blood flow into your heart. So that'll work more efficiently when you're controlling your breathing. So when you can control it, you're going to decrease the fatiguing muscles as they'll receive more oxygen. So if you're breathing very slow and relaxed, you'll have a better ability to pull in more oxygen, which will then limit the ability to form aerobic work. Because it doesn't mean that you must breathe slowly. It just means that you must have more consistent breathing. But then there's also breathing that takes place in more mobility-focused exercises like yoga. If you've joined any of Kathleen's classes, she uses longer exhales and inhales, as that's a better form. Those deeper breaths, they help access your range of motion. So if you're not breathing, then what happens is your body ends up locking up and you get a bit of tension. So the elongated breathing pattern can do the opposite. You manage to release tension, and it also helps you to move a lot better and your range of motion. So I hope that those few points kind of give you an idea of breaking up how you breathe in and you breathe out in different phases of either strength training or aerobic training, or the yoga poses, where the yoga, it's more slow and deeper breaths. The aerobic, when you're running or cycling, you need to try and make sure that you're breathing more consistently. And when you're doing weights or some of the home workouts, you need to be exhaling in the concentric movement so that you can actually almost, so if you, I'll give the example again of bench press. As you bring the weight down, you're wanting to breathe out like you're punching up. So it's like you breathe out. So that's just a little bit of an outline on what the different types or the breathing areas you are involved. And then I've also got 10 different breathing techniques. So these breathing techniques, you're not going to try and do all of them all at once. So please don't go home and see if you can do every single one of them all at the same time. They're techniques that you can slowly learn, and sometimes you can choose 2 or 3 of them to do, just to kind of find yourself that you're a little bit centered and that you kind of train your lungs. So the thing with our lungs, it's something that you train as well. So if you think about, I was born with collapsed lungs, and as I grew up, I had to then train myself. It wasn't that I couldn't breathe. I knew how to breathe, but your body learns how to breathe better and better by having these different techniques and teaching the oxygen how to travel through the body better. So if I have to start explaining through all the techniques for you, so we'll start off with the first one, and it's called pursed lip breathing. So you need to sit and feel a little bit centered. Make sure your neck and shoulders are relaxed. You're going to keep your mouth closed, and then you're going to inhale slowly through your nose for 2 counts. So keep your mouth closed, and you're going to breathe in for 2. And then you're going to breathe out, but you're going to pucker your lips or purse your lips. So like this. And as you breathe out, so it's almost like you're wanting to whistle with your lips closed. So you'll breathe in through your nose and exhale with pursed lips. And it just brings you a little bit of calm. Make sure that your body is relaxed. So that'll be number 1. Then number 2 is the diaphragmatic breathing, which is how I've been trying to explain that you breathe when you are exercising through your diaphragm. And this is one that you would probably use more commonly in everyday life, and it'll eventually slowly start to feel a lot more natural. So in this one, you're going to lie on your back. I can't show you right now because I'm using the earphones, but I'll talk you through exactly how it should be. So you're going to lie on your back with your knees slightly bent and your head on a pillow, if possible. And you can also use a pillow to support your knees if you need to. So that you have the pillow underneath your knees, and it helps you just to kind of relax a little bit. Then you're going to take one hand and you're going to rest your hand on your rib cage, just so that you can kind of get a feel like your upper chest. So sort of, you're going to just get a little bit of a feel of the movement, and then just move your hand slightly further down. And then you're going to also breathe in through your nose. And then you're going to feel that your diaphragm and your belly almost is going to open up. So breathe in through your nose, and you're wanting to feel it filling up. And then you're going to purse your lips again and breathe out. And then you're going to feel your tummy muscles tightening again. And then you can just do that a few times. So even if you're just sitting and watching, you breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe out, your tummy contracts. And that's often what Siri talks about in the exercises, that you breathe out, and then that's when your core is engaging much better. And then not only are you getting extra oxygen into your body, but your muscles are working and firing so much better. Then the third point that I have is a breathing focus technique. So you can choose to focus on, say, one word. It's nice to think of a word that's calming. So either the word peace or love or relax, anything that suits you, actually. I'm just giving you some examples. And you begin the practice of breath focus by combining the deep breathing with the imagery and the focus word or phrase that will support your relaxation. So imagine that the air you inhale brings in your waves of peace, calm, relaxation through your body. And then mentally you're saying that you're inhaling. So you're inhaling love, and imagine as you exhaling the same way, inhale through you can even close your eyes to relax more. Inhale through your nose and relax lips, just exhale. And that way you're washing away any tension or anxiety. Just giving yourself a little bit of calm with the breath focus technique. Then another one, the fourth point is called the lion's breath. So lion's breath, for anybody who's done some yoga classes, is also known as Simhasana. And I'm not sure if anybody has done a yoga class with Kathleen, but I hope some of you have. But to do a yoga breath, a lion's breath yoga pose, you need to come into a comfortable seating position. You'll sit back on your heels, or you can cross your legs, whichever is more comfortable for you. Then you'll take your palms facing down, and you'll just relax them spread out on your knees. So you almost are sitting in like a yogi pose, but your hands are going to be facing down. And then as you inhale, I want you to inhale deeply through your nose so that your eyes open up as well. So you deeply inhale through your nose, you allow your eyes to open up. And then at the same time, you open your mouth, and then you're going to breathe out and stick your tongue out. So you're going to breathe in, eyes are going to open, you're going to breathe out, and you're going to stick your tongue out. And the example I would give you is almost like a New Zealand haka. So don't feel shy to look a little bit like the scary New Zealanders. It's not to look scary. It's more just to create the process. And as you breathe out, you're going to make the ha sound. So you're going to breathe in, let your eyes open up, and then you're going to breathe out, or kind of like a dog with its tongue out. So don't feel shy to do it properly, like open up your eyes and breathe out. So don't worry about what you look like. I'm sure that I look a little bit crazy on the screen now for everybody watching. So you're allowed to have a little giggle at the same time. But that's a little bit of a description of the lion's breath, and it's a really good one to try and do. And you can repeat this, say, 2 or 3 times. Then the fifth point is alternate nostril breathing. So this is also, you get into your a comfortable position, and it's also going to lower your heart rate a little bit, just because it centers you and gives you a little bit of calm. Then you're going to lift up your right hand towards your nose. Then you're going to press your first and middle finger down towards your palm, leaving the other fingers extended, kind of like this. And then after you exhale, you're going to use your right thumb to gently close the right nostril. And then you're going to inhale through your left nostril, and then close the left nostril with your pinky. So you're going to breathe in and out. So yeah, you're going to keep your mouth closed, and you're only going to be using your nostrils. So breathe in and out. And then you're going to swap. And one cycle is using your thumb and your finger in and out, and then that would be one cycle. And that would just sort of be a little bit, you could repeat that 2 or 3 times, and it's almost just opening up everything and enhancing a little bit of your cardiovascular function, because it's obviously a smaller space for the air to move in and out. Then the sixth point that I'm going to talk about is known as equal breathing. So this is a breathing technique that's focusing on making your inhales and your exhales the same length. So you're going to use your nose again, so you'll keep your mouth closed, but you're going to inhale through your nose. You're going to count during each inhale, and then you're going to exhale, making sure that it's the same even duration, which is why it's called equal breathing. So you would close your mouth, breathe in through your nose for, say, 3 counts, and out again. And at the same time, I think when you do this, you must also become a little bit more aware of what your diaphragm is doing at the same time. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to now use all these techniques to try and add to that diaphragmatic breathing, because that's how you're going to get more oxygen traveling through your body, and you're going to enable your body to use your breath and the oxygen better, to help the training that you guys have been doing with all our amazing coaches. So with the equal breathing, you can choose how long you want to breathe in and out for, but 2 or 3 seconds is probably enough, and then a slight pause at the top, and then the same breathe out. So I'm going to say 3 seconds. I'm going to breathe in through my nose, and then I'm going to pause and out again. So it's just a relaxed process. Then number 7, we're going to talk about resonant or coherent breathing. So this is when you breathe out at a rate of 5 full breaths per minute. And you can achieve this by inhaling and exhaling, for example, a count of 5. This is an ability which you would try to use to rate and maximize your heart rate variability, and also to reduce a little bit of stress. It's going to be that you take a deep breath in for a count of 5, but now you're going to breathe out through your mouth. So it's just a little bit of variation. So you're going to take a deep breath in, but also using your diaphragm. So you can even put your hand on the top part of your chest, almost just above where your belly button is. So you can actually feel the movement. So you're going to breathe in through your nose. Feel your belly filling up. And try and count in your head slowly to 5, breathing in. We'll do it again together. And as you're breathing out, feel how all of a sudden your tummy muscles contract. So you can keep going back to the first point of topic where I was talking about the diaphragmatic breathing, which is what you are trying to achieve during all your exercise workouts, as well as everyday life, just in a different way. Then point 8, we talk about Sitali breathing. So this is also a yoga breathing practice that helps you to lower your body temperature and relax your mind a little bit. I sometimes think of an example also of a dog in this option, because you stick your tongue out and you curl your tongue, like to bring it to the outer edges. But if you can't do that, then you can also just purse your lips. So that's kind of the position. So you're bringing your tongue out of your mouth. So you're going to inhale through your mouth in that position. And then you're going to exhale through your nose. But obviously, if your tongue tries to do what mine did, then you can just leave the tongue out and just breathe in with pursed lips. And then breathe out through your nose. It also just challenges your diaphragm a little bit, but in a completely different way. But this method, once you try it, it actually brings down your body temperature. So I hope you're all trying it at home, and you can give me like a little bit of feedback and see how it feels for you. Because as you breathe in with your tongue out a little bit, you actually bring in the colder air, and then you breathe out through your nose. So we can do that again. So and then you can let me know how that makes you feel. So that is Sitali breath. Then point 9 we're going to talk about is deep breathing. So deep breathing is a way to help you feel more centered and relaxed. So you can do this also while standing or sitting. Draw your elbows back slightly to allow your chest to expand. So not opening up your shoulders, but you just draw your elbows back towards your body, just so that your frame of your body is straighter and you're not hunched or anything. Then you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose. You're going to retain this breath for 5 counts, and then you're going to breathe out. So we're going to breathe in through your nose. So you hold your breath almost for 5 counts, and then you allow it to escape through your mouth. And that's also concentrates a little bit on what your diaphragm's doing. Then point number 10, and the last point, which I'm going to be talking about, is the humming bee breath. So this is it's a unique sensation of yoga breathing, which helps to create a little bit of calm, and it's soothing around your forehead. So a lot of people will use this almost to relieve frustration, anxiety, or anger. Sometimes you get a little bit worked up and you just need to, they say, just breathe. So if somebody like says to you, just breathe, because you're getting a bit anxious or angry, then this is possibly a technique that you can try, as it's a little bit, it makes you a little bit focused on doing the technique rather than, like they say, just breathing. So this one, you're going to actually close your eyes so that you actually relax your whole face. So also sitting or standing, relax your shoulders, close your eyes, and then you're going to place your fingers on the tragus cartilage, that close, it's on the ear canal over here. So I have my earphones, so it's just that little bit of cartilage, and you're going to put both your fingers on either side of your head. So, but don't push it down, not too much pressure. So just the first and second finger, but probably just your first finger on this cartilage area. And then you're going to inhale also through your nose. And as you exhale, then you're going to just press gently on this cartilage area, and you're going to keep your mouth closed, and then you're going to make a little bit of a humming sound. So that's why it's called humming bee. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, keep relaxed. And you can just feel that like resonation. So just breathe in. And then you can just feel that little vibration on the cartilage, and it just kind of gives you a little bit more like of something to think about and focus, not just breathe, because if somebody says just breathe, you could also have shallow breaths. So yeah, if you don't want to do it in the office or something where somebody's working and they think that you turning into a little bit of a monk, just go outside and do it in the garden. And I hope that it definitely will play a little bit of a part in bringing yourself to some calm when you feel that anxiety or frustration, or if you feel like you're wanting to even get angry with someone, maybe do this as well, and it might stop your trail of thought, and you might express yourself in a completely different way, or at least in a calm way, instead of an angry way. So that, in a summary, is basically what I wanted to share with everyone with regards to why when you breathe in workout matters, and becoming a little bit more aware of how you breathe, and place and ways to improve it, and also bring yourself to a little bit of calm and relaxation, and ways to teach yourself how to change the way you react. So if anybody has some questions, if I haven't covered everything, or if you want to ask questions about something else that I spoke about, please send them my way. Otherwise, you can always pop me a message on Instagram or my Facebook page, or even through to main Jeff Together page, and I'll definitely make sure that I answer any of them.